What's up, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. Hotel Bronco is back in the building. Bronco had him an eventful day today, man. I done met and shook the hand of the man, Coach Mauricio Pochettino, and I damn near met every single player on the United States men's national team. Unfortunately, I cannot show y'all footage. I don't know if I am going to be able to, but y'all will know in due time. I'm gonna fill y'all in. I'm gonna let y'all know because I'm making content right now. As y'all see, I'm in the hotel for the Gold Cup for all teams, not just the United States teams, but for all teams. Hey, we got us a video, Raymar Football. We ain't hit on Raymar Football in a minute. Get that man to 568,000 subscribers. I seen somebody suggested, you already know that man Carlo Ancelotti done left Real Madrid and started him a new journey over there in Brazil. And the man Xabi Alonso left Bayer Leverkusen and started him a new journey over there at Real Madrid. And I seen that video. That man Trent Arnold out here speaking Spanish. They said Trent been taking Duolingo for about 2 years. Well, I ain't gonna say 2 years, for about 12 months now. The memes, them Trent memes just hilarious, bro. I might have to make a whole separate video on that, bro. It look like I got a V-neck on, man. Should I put my mic right here? I'm gonna try to keep it right here, man. Hey, why Xabi Alonso is going to be scary at Real Madrid. Let's see what goes down.
After 3 Champions League titles and a dozen trophies, on May 26, 2025, Don Carlo Ancelotti's era,
he said he's
Real
gone.
Madrid came to a close.
The power of friendship
the way for
era.
Xabi Alonso to take the seat as their new manager.
And it's crazy because I just seen a video on Twitter of Xabi, like in practice and whatnot, like demonstrating on them what they need them to do. And allegedly Ancelotti wasn't doing that because boys is saying, Real Madrid fans are saying, yes, we finally got us a coach who actually go coach. You telling me Ancelotti really was out there just chewing gum the whole practice with the eyebrow raised up? Go out there, have fun, power of friendship? I don't think so now. I don't think Ancelotti was out there actually moving his feet. He way too much now for that. But, hey, man.
And at a time where Real Madrid is facing surprising struggles, signing the hottest player in the market, Kylian Mbappe, just the prior summer, but somehow still managing to have a massively disappointing season.
Oh, yeah.
Getting humiliated by Arsenal in the Champions League quarterfinal.
They did.
Getting absolutely dismantled by Barcelona in the
y'all
Copa
remember?
del Rey final.
Oof.
And to even blowing their lead in the league to finish in second place.
Look at these, man. Who would have said? Y'all remember when that man Kylian Mbappe came? I said, bro, I'm through watching football, bro. The game's gone. A team like Real Madrid, who coming off a damn Champions League W, is getting somebody like Kylian Mbappe, who's supposed to be the greatest of this generation. But hey, the football guys said otherwise. The Milano boys went stupid. Had Lamine Yamal. You feel me? The future, the present, and the goddamn now. And Rafinha had a Ballon d'Or type season. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, football has been cooking lately.
Despite the talent in the squad, it was obvious that things weren't clicking and changes needed to be made. That's why Xabi Alonso's arrival at the Santiago Bernabeu isn't just a headline. It's a seismic shift. The kind of decision that tells you Real Madrid isn't just thinking about next season. They're thinking about the next decade, and they've chosen him to lead them there. It's poetic, really. The man who once anchored Real Madrid's midfield is now the one tasked with engineering its future. Calculating Real Madrid's midfield is now the one tasked.
Why did I forget that he played for them boys? Well, you know, I don't really know a lot of back in the day knowledge and whatnot. Why did I do remember. I mean, he used to play for Real Madrid, but I wonder how was he as a player, because none of y'all, I don't think y'all ever asked me to react to him.
Tasked with engineering its future. A calculated, ruthless, and potentially era-defining move. Because Real Madrid didn't just hire a former player.
That's weird looking at him.
A visionary, a genius, and a man who's done it all at every level. Because in Xabi Alonso, Madrid see more than just a trophy-winning coach. They see a man who understands the Bernabeu as a battleground. A man who studied the game under greats like Del Bosque, Mourinho, Guardiola, and Ancelotti. Not only are they getting a managerial scholar with a tactical brain sharpened by war, they're getting a man who arguably sees the entirety of the game on the pitch.
So Ancelotti actually managed Xabi Alonso at one point? Well, I guess it makes sense because Ancelotti is pretty old. Yeah, Xabi Alonso is pretty young, so I mean, it makes sense.
Knows how to win and knows how to completely unlock his team's attack. Bayer Leverkusen, he didn't just win, he rewrote their identity and made history. He took a club who was nicknamed Bayer Leverkusen, who had historically choked away major titles and had been struggling for decades.
Really? I was finna correct him. Boys
he took
used
a
to
club that
call.
was nicknamed Bayern Leverkusen.
Them boys used to be named Bayern Leverkusen. Then he changed Bayern Leverkusen to Bayern Never Losing. Invincible.
Who had historically choked away major titles and had been struggling for decades and led them to an undefeated Bundesliga season. Undefeated in the same league as Bayern Munich in his first full season as a top-flight manager. His brand of football is surgical, demanding, modern, pressing with intent.
Whoa. That boy Xabi Alonso only been there 2 years? That's it? And he already gone. Wow, that is so disrespectful right there. I ain't gonna hold you, Xabi. That disrespectful as hell. If I'm Leverkusen fans, I'm feeling played. His first full season with the club. Well, 3 years technically, because if it say first full season, that means the first season he ended up coming like halfway through, huh? But damn, I don't know. I thought he was there longer than that.
And possessing with purpose, making his players move like chess pieces, never static and never predictable. And that's what makes his appointing even more fascinating, because Real Madrid has spent the last 2 years building a squad that's perfect for that vision. Xabi Alonso just might be the one to unlock its full potential. In the club that was continuously mocked for their lackluster performances and big moments, Xabi Alonso has the potential to wake that sleeping giant. And for every opposition club,
the world does not want this. Hood does not want to see this.
The question is no longer if Xabi Alonso was destined to manage Real Madrid. The question is, what happens now that he's there? Perhaps the most exciting reason to bring in Xabi Alonso lies in his proven track record with youth development, something Real Madrid desperately needs as they usher in a new generation, as their core veterans are only getting older.
Yeah, look at Madrid gone.
And that's probably one of the biggest flaws with Carlo Ancelotti. While he is an excellent man-manager, more recently his hesitation or reluctancy to play the younger guys has really cost Madrid a lot throughout the entire season.
Not been saying. Get that young man Endrick some goddamn spin, bro. Y'all got him there for a reason. If you ain't gonna play my boy Endrick, hey, go ahead and send him elsewhere. Go ahead and loan that boy elsewhere. See, we can use him at FC Dallas. But Endrick, and you already know Arda Güler for all my Turkish boys. Y'all know that man tough, so. Yeah, Ancelotti not playing these young talents definitely surprised and shocked me. I definitely thought that it was times where he should have took Mbappe ass out while he was egging and nutting up and put either Endrick or Güler in, but he never did it.
More and more fans were calling to play Arda Güler and Endrick more in the squad rotation, with both being underused or faced with limited opportunity. And as we did see, when both were given the chance, they were still able to show flashes of absolute brilliance despite the limited minutes. But whenever they did, it seemed like Ancelotti would once more put them on the bench.
Oh, they number neighbors.
Arda Güler was highlighting his flair, vision, and control. But still, he wasn't yet trusted with consistent responsibility. Even Endrick was showing that hunger and eager, scoring important and impressive goals, all while showing that aggression that they really need. Still, because of their youth, Ancelotti was reluctant to give them consistent playing time.
Was it really because of their youth?
As we've seen with Xabi Alonso's work at Leverkusen, that will change immediately. As we've seen, he's put his full faith in young talents like Florian Wirtz, trusting him to be the creative heartbeat of a title-winning side at just 21. Also, players like Frimpong and Adley were handed major tactical roles and thrived because of Alonso's clarity, trust, and lack of age bias. The younger guys at Madrid needs a manager who can understand how to balance long-term development with immediate integration. Exactly what Alonso did so well with the explosive, raw talents at Leverkusen. If Madrid want their future stars to grow into game changers, they need a manager who won't treat that youth as an afterthought.
That's facts.
Another major concern that Xabi Alonso has the potential to fix incredibly is the struggles of Kylian Mbappe.
Is he really?
Mbappe thrived simply due to his raw talent alone, despite all the adjustments he's had to make in the new role and style he's had to play.
Okay, because I was just gonna say, is Mbappe really struggling? Because he did set the record for the most goals. Did he set the record or did he tie the record? The most goals in the season by a Real Madrid debutant or something like that.
No one better that can unlock Kylian Mbappe than a mind like Xabi Alonso. As a man who's played with generational attacking players, especially at the
he was on the
position,
BBC.
Xabi Alonso is the perfect manager to adjust the attack to better fit his players. I, along with many others, can see how Alonso would make Mbappe the focal point of a perfectly calibrated attacking machine. Alonso's systems at Leverkusen valued space manipulation, coordinated movement, and vertical precision. An ideal setup for a player like Mbappe to completely thrive, especially when he can make it able for Mbappe to receive early, face forward, and drive into
that's
the
basically
box
the key
with
point right there.
Alonso's use of the inverted wingbacks and dual tens consistently drew defenders out of shape, creating isolated one-on-ones for his most dangerous players.
So Real Madrid finna be rocking with 3-4-2-1s now? Yeah. Cause ain't that what they boy rock over there at Leverkusen?
Imagine that infrastructure built around Mbappe. Opposing defenses would be dragged apart by Bellingham and potentially Gülle.
It sounds good.
Centrally. This would be best for Mbappe and Rodrigo to stretch wide.
Rodrigo?
All designed to leave Mbappe.
Rodrigo? Mbappe and who? What?
And who? This would be best for Mbappe and Rodrigo to stretch wide, all designed to leave Mbappe with the time and space to do what he does.
What about Vinicius?
Best. Moreover, Alonso's emphasis on intelligent pressing and compact transition would definitely ensure that Mbappe, often criticized for defensive passivity, is part of a system where off-ball responsibility is clear and collective. This isn't just about fitting Mbappe into Madrid. It's about truly maximizing him, turning him back into that goal-scoring and assisting monster
that we know that he is.
A systematic nightmare for any defense around Europe. Under Alonso, Mbappe might not just be prolific, he would be unplayable.
Ballon d'Or?
While many talk about Madrid being top-heavy, there's really no manager better than Alonso, who's played with the likes of Benzema, Ronaldo, and Gareth Bale, that really knows how to maximize space and let each player on each side thrive. But it's not only the attack. Alonso could also make really valuable changes to the defense. Madrid have long flirted with variations of their back three, but never fully committed. And it could be Alonso that could make it finally stick. With defenders like Rudiger, Militao, and Alaba, all who are comfortable with the ball, a 3-4-2-1 becomes not only viable, but also...
No. Well, I mean, hey, I don't give a damn, because like I said, we don't need Real Madrid to evolve and unlock with this team what they have with Mbappe now. I mean, if you want to run a 3-2-1, go ahead, but I'm just saying that is ugly.
Becomes not only viable, but also incredibly dangerous. In possession, I would expect Alaba or even Tchouaméni to drop into a pseudo center back role, while Carvajal, who is aging but still intelligent, could still invert or hold back with, depending on the match. This setup would also protect Madrid's often fragile transitions that we've seen this season, by always ensuring numerical superiority at the back. But just as valuable as defense and attack is Alonso's mastery to double pivot. At Leverkusen, Alonso's double pivot was sacred, and I can fully expect Camavinga and Tchouaméni to assume these roles.
Now the double pivot, that's a little bit above my pay grade. So, hey, Bronco sitting here learning. That's a little tiny bit, just a smidge above Bronco pay grade, man.
One anchoring the defense, while the other progresses the attack. For
what
example,
he said, run it back.
Roles, one anchoring the defense, while the other progresses the attack.
Oh, so one on defense, one progresses the attack. So that means they can swap sometimes, like yin yang yo? Like a fidget spinner, while one do defense and one attack. I burnt the food, bro.
For example, Camavinga's skills and abilities are without question, but for someone who's played a very similar role, Xabi Alonso would be invaluable into adding further wisdom and increasing his play in the attack, defense, and decision-making with possession. And this structure will also allow Bellingham to roam higher and advance to a floating 10 or an 8. And ideally, this would create a midfield that's both combative and creative, able to suffocate
improve the midfield, improve the defense and attack.
And it would be really interesting to see what Bellingham could do under a Xabi Alonso system. And Alonso doesn't even really need classic strikers to score goals. He has a lot of talent who are fully capable of doing so. He just needs his players to find space. And with his tactical genius, he knows just how to create it. But probably one of the most unique things about Alonso's tactics is that he doesn't need his fullbacks to just bomb forward. Oftentimes, he'll invert them when needed, especially when he wants to overload the central midfield. Alonso just might very well
got some overload action going on. Hold on. Manager Bronco in the building.
Wants to overload.
Look, overload. Got the fullback. So one of these. So these two are fullbacks. 3-4-2-1. Three back line. 4 midfield. Yeah, with the fullback. So yeah, These two, oh yeah, these two are the fullbacks. Left back, right back.
Alonso just might very well ask Carvajal to tuck in and become a midfield facilitator, while guys like Vinicius cut inside to exploit half spaces.
Bad time, he bring up Vinny.
Tactical moves rather than just crossing endlessly or getting overcrowded down the
middle.
I
can't stand crossing merchants.
The most important tactic that Xabi Alonso would bring to Madrid is his philosophy of committing to organized pressing. Ancelotti's Madrid often dropped deep and relied on last-ditch defending. But with Alonso, he likes to press higher, not recklessly, but strategically. I fully expect traps to be set in the middle third, forcing early turnovers where Madrid can immediately counterattack. And if Xabi Alonso could hammer this into his squad, I fully expect the gaps between midfielders and defenders to completely shrink. And it's this one change that I think could solve Madrid's most persistent flaws. Because what makes Xabi Alonso's managerial mind so dangerous is its duality. Equal parts tactical rigidity and tactical freedom. He builds structure that allows his players to interpret the match. Simply, he sets the stage but lets the actors improvise. That's how his Leverkusen side was able to morph from possession dominance to counter-attacking excellence depending on the state of the match. His primary systems, often variations of the 3-4-2-1, allowed for seamless transitions between phases of play. And out of possession, Alonso implemented pressing triggers in zones rather than just chasing blindly, instructing his front line to trap the opponents on one flank, cutting off any passing lanes and forcing the opposition to play long balls. Because once the trap was sprung and his side regained possession, his counterattack was compact, swift, and hungry. And Alonso isn't a stubborn manager. He has the ability to make changes or pivot mid-game. If he wants to park the bus and protect the lead, he would switch reverting back to a flat back four when he wants to play defensively. If he feels like his lineup, reverting back to a flat back four when he wants to play defensively.
But that's fire though. Unless you're saying the left back. So when he go back to flat back four, only one fullback defends while the other fullback is like, oh, he's still inverted. He's still being winger type over there in it. Okay, yeah, all right.
If he feels like his lineup or positioning was wrong, he'll swallow his pride and make those in-game tweaks. And for a squad with as much individual talent as Real Madrid has, that adaptability is precisely what would make him so dangerous. And also, Alonso's command over the emotional side of coaching might just prove as decisive as his formations. Plus, Alonso is the kind of manager and former player that anyone on the pitch can fully respect. And for a man who's won the Champions League, Euros, and a World Cup, not a single person can question his winning ability. So when he speaks, you can bet his players will listen. Literally. The man is fluent in Spanish, English, and German. And with addressing—
shout out our trilingual fellas, our trilingual kings, our duolingo kings, like Trent Arnold.
That
just remind me of Trent.
Spanish, English, and
that
German.
boy Trent was really up there just speaking the hell out of that Spanish, boy.
And with a dressing room as globally diverse as Madrid's.
Definitely.
Make yourself understood not only in tactics and on the pitch, but also quite literally person to person, is invaluable. And besides, there's also that presence, because Alonso carries a composed, commanding aura. He doesn't need to shout or gesture wildly. He watches, calculates, and speaks with the weight of someone who's—
who does he look? He look like somebody.
Every player in that locker room grew up watching him, and that's just something no other manager in the world can replicate. He's unique.
He look like— tell me he don't look like a skinny Pochettino. Am I tripping? He looks like somebody, and I think it's a skinny Pochettino.
Can replicate. He's uniquely placed to guide the younger generation. Alonso understands the psyche of the modern player. The social media noise, the distractions, the pressure, and the instability. They'll see him as a mentor and whose respect they have.
He lost some weight in his face too.
He's not just some manager who's gotten his job off of reputation alone. Alonso was patient and studied the game. There's no doubt that the players in Madrid will also feel that passion. Because come on, if you see your manager giving you those kinds of passes and
see, I told y'all on Twitter,
it doesn't just inspire
he was doing it himself.
It shows identity and purpose.
Bro, that is so live. Yo, manager. This is your manager. I heard like he one of the boys.
Kinds of passes and beautiful balls in training. It doesn't just inspire belief in the squad. It shows identity and purpose. And I can only imagine what Xabi Alonso would do in the actual training grounds of Madrid. Heck, I can quite literally see Xabi Alonso teaching his players not only how to pass better, but also share that world-class brilliance he had as a player. He's played potentially with the best midfield football history has ever seen. And if there's any manager in the world that not only did as well as he did with Leverkusen, but was also so unquestionably world-class as a player, really, it's only him. And even if he wasn't joining Real Madrid, he's bringing with him a system built not only to accommodate talent, but to elevate them. His vision and mine is only built for dominance. So Madrid isn't just getting a manager, they're getting a genius both on and off the pitch. And with him at the helm of Real Madrid, next season, they are going to look very
Raymar did a very, everybody clap it up for Raymar football. He did a very, extremely good job making me believe that these boys Real Madrid is finna go stupid next season. Boy, I'm scared. And they finna get Trent Arnold dishing them balls and this and that. Oh, man. Xabi Alonso probably finna go down there and cook. Oh, no. We did good. We had fun this season, bro. This was a glorious season, great season. Don't tell me we finna go back to normal next year. But he look like everything that Real Madrid been missing, bro. I'm out.